Once known as Africa's green city in the sun, Nairobi is so choked with traffic that these days, the Kenyan capital is anything but gleaming. Traffic has been reduced to a gridlock sea of cars, and the government reckons traffic congestion is costing Kenya $460 million a year due to lost productivity, fuel consumption, and pollution.
If you look at Nairobi today, we have this problem of traffic congestion strangling the economy. It is literally an impediment. A lot of resources are being wasted. It was estimated last year that we could be losing about 50 billion per annum on traffic congestion.
CBD has become a lot inconveniencing in the sense that people spend too much time either in traffic jams, trying to get from one point to another, or looking for parking space. And because of this, we've seen a lot of companies moving out to the surrounding areas, areas like Westlands, areas like Upper Hill, even on Mombasa Road. And I think this is a trend that started way back in the 90s, but it's still going on. Recently, we've seen a lot of big companies putting up headquarters outside the CBD, which is telling.
The city is suffering from maddening congestion due to a combination of failure to update road networks, bad driving, a mounting number of second-hand cars, and an upsurge in public transport vehicles, locally known as matatus.
If we have an effective public service system, most of the private motorists would prefer to use the system. But now the kind of transport system we have in the PSV is inadequate, which now forces people to use their private cars.
Motorists are forced to spend lots of fuel and man hours just sitting in traffic idling away.
The way the jams have been increasing, very progressive. Initially it was just during the morning hours and in the evening hours when people are going home. But now every time and any time there are jams. And there are jams that are sometimes at a standstill. And not only in places where you expect a lot of traffic, even in places where there should be no traffic at all. It's really, really annoying to say the least, but it's also very expensive.
In the mornings and in the evenings, the traffic is too much. This is contributed to the very many vehicles on the road. And I think the control of these vehicles is so much affected by the police, traffic police on the roads.
We are losing, as a country, a lot of money through traffic jam in terms of man hours that are wasted on our roads, lost appointments, and lost fuel in terms of billions.
Experts are also calling for short-term solutions to the traffic problem to ease congestion as the government continues to seek long-term solutions.
Right now, one of the main things being done is the elimination of roundabouts, because roundabouts have actually become a blockage to smooth flowing of traffic. The other thing they actually really need to do, and are in the process, is creation of what we'll call lanes for public service transport. One of the problems we have with our roads is that the matatus, the buses, are not separated from the rest of the traffic. So that definitely creates a lot of snarl-ups.
Other private stakeholders are also calling on the government to lay more funds to facilitate investment, especially in road rehabilitation.
We are saying that we should be able to attract better and bigger investors in the area of public transport in this country, vehicular public transport. But you can only do this by standardizing, so that you say, this is a service level that we expect to be provided with. These are the fare levels of bus fares that they should be charging. And even if it is introduced on a per mile basis, so that each service provider is paid on a per kilometer basis, and the council, on behalf of government, takes control in regulation of this industry, I think it will be for the benefit of the citizens.
If you're talking about decongesting the city, you'd have the small 14-seater matatus and 25-seaters plying on the outskirts of the city center. And then we only have the large buses, maybe the ones that have a capacity of between 100 and 150. Those are the only ones that are allowed into the center. But again, you have to remember that we need to introduce a time system for our public system.
Nevertheless, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Although it is still yet to operate optimally, the passenger train services offered by the Rift Valley Railways has played a role in easing the traffic problem in the city.
Currently, we are carrying about 20,000 people into Nairobi and out of Nairobi. We are also working on our locomotive. We are rehabilitating our locomotives so that we can have a locomotive that are not going to give us problems and loot, so that when we start a journey, we literally get to where we are going. In fact, in the recent past, we have not had any failure on passenger trains. And we give them first priority to make sure that we give them the best locals and the best service and timing, so that we don't delay the people who are going to work.
Plans are also underway to make the railway transport even more accessible and efficient for the inhabitants of the city.
Kenya Railways, who are our roads, are also in a partnership with some British firms, are working on having a modern trains particular to the airport. And we have a new lines for that service, commuter service, and that will be taking about 17 minutes from the airport into Nairobi.
Only a long-term master plan as well as a concrete evaluation of transportation policies that involves all stakeholders will finally rid Nairobi of the chaotic traffic maze.